We never do things the easy way, this club. That is why I love it. We are through to the Carabao Cup final, just about, after making hard work of a Bristol City team at Ashton Gate. But all that matters is that we are through to the final. We are there on the 25th of February. We're going to play one of Arsenal or Chelsea, and we are there for a chance of silverware. And silverware would be very nice, especially during a season which could be historic for us. Before I go too far into this video, though, I want to say at the end of this video, so keep watching until the end, there'll be some transfer talk, because there is some news coming up about certain players, so keep watching until the very end. I want to give a big shout out as well to Sean Kramer here for his Patreon support. Thanks very much, Sean, for getting involved. You're a hero. If you want to get involved, patreon.com/Esteemed Company. On to the game itself. It wasn't a beautiful game by any stretch of the imagination, but it didn't really need to be. We got the job done. It was a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, reasonable professional performance. It isn't easy going to a championship side that really want to get to a final. Ashton Gate isn't an easy ground to go to, as many teams will find out, and they made kind of tough work for us. And in general, I think it was our own kind of wastefulness that kind of nearly cost us on the actual night. I hope for going forward, we had loads of good situations. We could have created loads more chances. We could have scored a few more goals. And defensively, we were pretty poor. I think John Stones had a night to forget again. It wasn't the most abysmal defensive display ever, but it was a further reminder that he's not quite there yet mentally after his injury. I've been thinking about it, and I've been wondering what's going wrong. There's obviously no doubt that he's a very good defender. His form before his injury was absolutely exceptional. He was fantastic. He was having shades of Vincent Kompany a few months back, Kompany at his very best, but now he looks like he's not quite there mentally. And I'm thinking maybe it's just not caught up to him yet. Maybe the pressure inside his head is a little bit too high. Maybe he's trying too hard. Sometimes when you've been that good and you have a little bit of a spell out on the sidelines, you start to overthink things. You start to think, right, I better hit the ground running. I better be the player I was before I went away. And you put a little bit too much pressure on yourself. And I'm starting to wonder if that's starting to affect his game a little bit. He needs just to settle down. He needs to be patient. He needs to know that it will come back to him, because at the moment he's faffing on the ball a little bit. He's trying too hard to impress, and it isn't coming naturally for him. I'm sure he'll get it back because he's a quality player. You can't reach the levels that he reached a few months ago and not get there again. It will come back, but you have to be patient with him. But, you know, John, I hope you get that form back soon, because we do need it, because he's making too many mistakes at the moment. Alongside him defensively, Otamendi was okay. Bravo has that air still in goal of just being unconvincing. He didn't do much wrong, but it's notable how little kind of assurance he gives the defence compared to Ederson behind that back four. Ederson just oozes composure, he oozes calmness, and Bravo simply doesn't. He's not a bad keeper. He's not a great keeper, but I think mainly it's the lack of confidence that he breeds in the defence that doesn't help. Ederson, you can just visibly see it there. I'm not going to blame him for tonight's performance in general, but I think you can tell when Ederson's playing, when Bravo's playing, there's a notable difference in the team's confidence. Zinchenko started again, and it was largely okay at full back. He was maybe caught flat-footed a couple of times, but you'd expect that given the fact that he's a midfielder playing in defence, which is always worth repeating. Walker on the right side I thought was excellent. He's an absolute physical beast. I don't think we make enough of how good he actually is. He's an athlete. He's ridiculously strong, ridiculously fast, and he's so reliable. He's a spectacle to watch at times, Walker, when he's bombing down the wing. And speaking of going down the wing, Bernardo Silva ahead of him, I thought he was very good tonight. I think he's slowly setting into life into Manchester and in English football in general. And I thought he was very effective. I thought in general he gave Bristol a pretty hard time. He was clever with his use of the ball. He was tricky. He was running at defenders. Not quite as devastating as I'm sure he can be, but he's definitely getting to a higher level than he was a few months ago. Sane had a Sane game. One moment spectacular. One moment maybe not quite as good as he should be, but he did get on the score sheet, and that's all that matters. As long as he keeps being effective. There was a few times that maybe a few people didn't put him in as well as they should have done. De Bruyne in particular, Aguero as well, even Silva. A few people played a few loose through balls to him, but he had an important night in terms of he was involved, which all that matters. And Aguero, it was an okay performance. That goal of his was a throwback to Aguero 3 or 4 years ago, an absolutely ruthless finish, and more of that would be most welcome, especially in the final. And De Bruyne, Silva and Fernandinho in the midfield were largely just what they usually are, which is very good. Though I did think the final ball was lacking a little bit at times from De Bruyne and Silva in particular, but obviously they are quality and controlled large parts of the game. Fernandinho was excellent, sweeping up as he always does. He's a quality player. If Fred comes in, and we'll discuss that in a minute, he won't be able to do all the same things Fernandinho does, because Fernandinho Oh, he's a big lad and he's winning headers in his own 6-yard area. And you can't underestimate how important that is for this team. He's a phenomenal player and his work rate and his understanding of the game is invaluable for Manchester City. But all that matters on the night is that we are through. We made hard work of it, but it's a semi-final. Teams up their game. Teams play well. Nerves do kick in a little bit, but we are through now to a final. I hope we go there, and I hope, personally, I would probably say Chelsea's my preferred choice there, even though they're probably a better team than Arsenal. I think in general, Arsenal tend to up their game against us. It'd be like a cup final in a cup final for them, and I'd rather play Chelsea. I think we'd be more likely to beat them. I might be wrong there. Let me know in the comments who you'd rather face, but I'm just happy to be there, and I fancy your chances hugely now when we get there. Let me know in the comments who your man of the match was as well. Anyway, let's get on to the actual transfer news, and there's a little bit of information for you. And it's about that man, Aymeric Laporte. The news has just broke after the game from a bloke called, and thanks for your watch for this, Carousel Deportivo. I'm not sure who that is, but basically he's saying City are prepared to pay his release fee clause and he will join Manchester City very, very, very soon and be registered for the Champions League squad. That obviously is very, very exciting news. Laporte is a very good footballer. Maybe he's not quite fulfilled his promise yet, but he still remains a young, talented, promising footballer. Someone I would much rather see come in, not a number 4 centre-back, someone who could potentially be a first-choice centre-back, and I would prefer that every day of the week than someone who's nominally just a backup. Laporte wouldn't be just a backup. He would allow us to play very comfortably a three-man defence when Mendy inevitably gets back. And I like the fact that someone like him coming in could give these options that we actually need. It's a massive swallowing of pride from Cheeky, because Cheeky apparently was really fuming when he denied us last time, when he did that massive about turn and rejected City the summer before last. But it would be a very interesting signing for us. I was really sold on him, as I said in the previous video, when we were going to go through him initially, but then obviously it went cold. I've heard he's not been as good since then, but in general, that ability doesn't disappear overnight, and maybe he's just ready for a move now to test himself somewhere else. I would be very excited by this, simply because I think he's young and he fits the profile that City sign these days. I think there's something in this as well. I think this is genuinely true, because I get the impression that if we wanted to sign Evans, we could have signed him this week if we wanted to. There's very little opposition from West Brom for City signing Evans. I feel like we could have already confirmed that. The fact that we haven't, to me, speaks volumes. It speaks that maybe there is something in this. Maybe Laporte, this random left field signing potentially out of nowhere, maybe there is something in this. And also, onto Fred as well. Now, I heard a little rumour myself personally that Fred is very close as well. That City are actually going for him, that there's been bids being made, and that we want him this January, not in the summer. We want him now. Now, obviously, he wouldn't be able to play in the Champions League. That's just how it is. But we do apparently want him. It's just a rumour I heard. Don't shoot the messenger if it's not true. But I've heard that it's very likely that we do want him, that we want seemingly Laporte and Fred. That would be two very good signings for a squad in January. That would be a nice icing on what is already a very sweet cake for Manchester City. Two massive cherries on top of that. Very good team, and it would fill so many gaps in the squad as well. We've got two players there can both play left back. We've got centre back cover, we've got Fernandinho cover. You can also play as number 8 Fred. We've got basically lots of cover for our team towards a very busy time of the season. It's all very exciting, and on the night when we've just made a cup final and we've been linked to two very good players, both young players as well, I mean like 23 and 24, something like that. It's a very good time to be a Manchester City fan. Let me know what you think of those potential signings in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts for the match were, and look forward to a final in February, which is a nice thing to say out loud, isn't it? Guys, I will see you next time. Hello there guys, it's Stephen here. Thanks for watching another Esteemed Kompany video. All of these names scrolling down left of the screen. Thanks very much for supporting my channel. You're all absolutely heroes. You couldn't have done this, I couldn't have made it this far without you all, so thank you very much. If you want to get involved, head over to patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany. If not, don't worry about it at all. I continue to appreciate all your support and all your likes, views, shares, comments and so on. You make this channel grow and grow every single day, so thanks very much guys. Guys, I will see you next time.